artist. And they were looking for a new place, and so we just like
KXVS on 92.1 coming soon. KXVS.
This broadcast will start in 60 seconds. This broadcast will start in 45 seconds. This broadcast will start in 30 seconds. This broadcast will start in 15 seconds. This broadcast will start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Voice of Stockton. For more information on The Voice of Stockton, go to thevoiceofstockton.org.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS The Voice of Stockton or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
And welcome to Stockton SJC right here on KXVS, The Voice of Stockton, the Fugazi Edition. And here is, well, the one and only lovely City Councilwoman for District 5, Christina Fugazi. Christina, how are you?
Hello, hello. I am doing well, thank you. It has been quite the day, but every day, you know, we have to live it to the fullest.
How do you do it every day? You're lucky you don't have kids, because I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, well, I can't imagine, you know, because I do. I started this morning at about 5:30 and went to school. Not at 5:30, of course, but at 5:30 in the morning, I'm answering emails and planning out my day and sending emails and things like that. But then I went to school, and fortunately, I want to say we had minimum days. We had a minimum day today, because then at 12:30, I went to Wilson Elementary School off of El Dorado and Monterey, right there, and I did career day, and they wanted to know about what it takes to be a council member. And I told them that all it takes is, for the city of Stockton, you have to be a registered voter, which means you have to be 18. But there are no other qualifications outside of that. Anybody can run. But the funny thing about it is, I said, well, how much do you think we get paid to do this job? And one student said $800,000. I was like, whoa, that's more than the president of the United States. I was like, no, lower. And then they said 200,000, lower. 150,000, lower. We finally got to 25,000, and I said lower. And then they looked at me, and they're like, oh no, because I had just gone through explaining everything that you do as a council member and what my typical day is like, even though I don't have any real typical days. But when I told them 16,500, they were like, we'll pass. And I said, no, you can't do that. I go, what did I tell you? I said, while there might not be qualifications, I asked them, what did I tell you should be a reason for you to be on a council? You want to serve your community. And the student raised his hand. He said, you got to have a heart. You have to have a heart for helping others. And I said, absolutely. I said, I would do this job for zero, as long as I could help people. And so after that, then I went back to school. And so at school, you know, I had some work to do, and then I take the kids home. Not my kids, but my nephews and my niece, because they go to my school, and I take them home. And then from there, I went to City Hall, because we had a audit meeting, and then I had a meeting with the city manager to discuss things like watering Victory Park, getting a bathroom at Stribley, creating a position for a homeless advocate, director, person for the city. And then I also, what else did I talk about? I talked about something else, and it literally just jumped out of my head. Oh, and I talked about having the pit stop porta potties for the homeless that actually travel. They're on a trailer, and they go around to different locations, but especially around businesses where a lot of owners, you have individuals, people have to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
Well, where do they go?
Yeah. On the street or anywhere they can find. Because nowadays we see this, places don't let homeless people in, which is...
No.
I know Starbucks had their controversy recently, but they even said, we'll let homeless people in our bathroom because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know the Starbucks up the street here, I know that individuals have actually locked themselves in and wouldn't go out, and police had to be called. But I mean, that's it. I mean, who doesn't want to have a place where they can go?
Yes.
So anyway, I talked to the city manager about that, and then from there I just came from Moss Garden Community, which is off of West 8th Street. So on the west side of I-5, there's a whole community there. It actually, on the south side of the street, it's Councilmember Andrade's district, and on the north side of the street, it's my district. It literally is just like that.
It's like the crossroads.
Yes. And so there's going to be a wonderful community barbecue. The residents in the neighborhood have really stepped up. There's going to be hot dogs and potato salad and chili and macaroni salad and cupcakes and cookies and popcorn and games for the kids, face painting. Oh my God, I have the whole list here. I'm super excited about it. They're not waiting until National Night Out. They're getting started early. This is going to be like their test run, but I have it right here. They're going to have the ring toss. There's going to be guess how many candies in the jar, fish ping pong, egg toss, face painting, the cornhole, and they're going to have prizes as well. And the city of Stockton, we're going to have the police department out there. We're going to have the fire department out there. I'm going to be out there with information regarding summer parks and rec programs for the kids to be involved in. And then I left that meeting and raced over here. I didn't race. No, I didn't race. I ran, though. I did run to my car from the meeting, jumped in my car, and then drove the speed limit here, and then parked legally in front of
I saw it. So
and then I came in here. But and then if I wasn't here, I would be at a Comerciantes Unidos meeting. I would be meeting with them if I wasn't here. And so this is rather a light day for me, if you think about it. And so, on any given day, I will, do something along these lines. And, I might not get home till 9, 10, almost 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I don't know how you and Dr. Julie Demmer Brown do it, because you both are everywhere, so it's crazy. Well,
but what Julie doesn't have, and I didn't bring it in, so our agenda tomorrow night is 1,745 pages long. There are 36 items on the consent agenda. And so what a consent agenda is, if I haven't explained it before, but they put things on the agenda that aren't really controversial or are things that we're using already allocated funds for. But I just kind of want to go over them with the public so you kind of have an idea. Because when I saw 36 items on the consent agenda, I thought, is there going to be something on there that shouldn't be on there that I might miss? I really need to read all of this. Yeah. And so literally on, Saturday and Sunday, I set aside time to really read through this. And if you look at my iPad, do you see all those yellow highlights?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all those yellow highlights, I've read them all, and those are my notes. I mean, I literally read through, 1,700 and 45 pages.
So you had homework this weekend.
Homework,
Yeah.
yes. So that's the other thing. I mean, I have to do my regular job as a school teacher and this on top of it. So when some people say, oh, it's just a part-time job, you're only doing, 10, 20 hours a week, I'm like, oh.
It's hard plus this time of the year when basically everybody's grades are due.
Oh yeah. Well, because I have kids who are graduating,
Yeah.
and I gotta finish those up. But fortunately, I'm not new to the show.
Yeah.
This isn't my first rodeo,
Nope.
and I've been here before. But the reason why we have 36. Do you know why we have 36 items on our consent agenda?
Why do you have 36 items on your
Because we
agenda?
only have one council meeting a month.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
So we need to put all this on there in order to get done. It's the end of the fiscal year is coming upon us, so we need to make sure we award our RFPs, that we get all of our ducks in a row, because we're going to have to clear our books. So let me just go over a little bit that's on this consent agenda. So, of course, the auditor's report. I sit on the audit committee, so it has finally for the
How many people are actually on the audit committee? Committee of people.
3 of us.
Okay.
So it's Councilman Wright, Councilwoman Lenz, she's the chair, and myself.
Okay.
And so here we are, May of 2018, and we're just accepting the single audit auditor's report that ended June 30th, 2017. So last year's report. So we have that here. Now this isn't the budget ending. This is the auditor's report. So they do checks and balances, making sure that we council are following policy, that the city is, that we are run efficiently and appropriately. So we're just reviewing that now, it's on the consent agenda. The other thing that's on there's Westlake Villages. So Westlake Villages is a community over there by Trinity Park. It's farther to the west. It was a project by Spanos, but when the market fell, they stopped building. So they only actually built a few hundred homes. There's still supposed to be a few thousand homes added to that. And so at the time, Pulte Homes were the ones that were building them, and they chose not to do an assessment tax. So a lot of times there is something called Melrose, where they assign additional tax in order to pay for some of the infrastructure, but there's usually a sunset date associated with that. So the homes that have already been built, they're excluding them from this assessment, and they want to start fresh with the new homes that are going to be built out there. So that's going to be on our agenda tomorrow, on the consent agenda. And there's another, there's a commercial project as well for warehouses that are doing also a similar assessment on there. Then moving along, there's a 4 vacating of property. And what I mean by that, so there's a road that isn't being used, or there's an easement.
Okay.
So the city is in charge of the easement, but we don't own the parcel to the left, and we don't own the parcel to the right. So we can abandon it and let the person who has the 2 other parcels able to have a contiguous piece and then build on it. And so one of them is up north near Humphreys College. They have Able Charter up there, and there's a piece behind it, and they want to build and develop on it additional classroom space.
Yeah.
So it's only makes sense for us to say, well, yeah,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yeah.
And we will relinquish our easement there, and they have to, of course, maintain and take care of and pay whatever taxes are on that. But it's usually it's not a large piece of property or anything like that. It's pretty negligible. So that is one of them. Another one has to do with, because we're widening Thornton Road as you go north towards Bear Creek, and because of that, we're encroaching on other people's property lines and things like that. So there's a little piece that we're then going to abandon and let the people that live there have that piece. The other thing, now listen to this. So our fire department and our ambulance, they go out, on calls, medical related calls.
Yeah, I see them every day.
Yeah. They do. They go out. But our EMT, so our certified EMT, so emergency medical technicians, there are rules that they have to follow. Okay? And they can't even give aspirin.
No.
Okay? You have to have a medical examiner on staff. Now, the county already has this, but now we're being asked to do it, and we're not being able to do our job. And so we have to do this at a cost of $117,000. I'm sitting here going, I could get almost 2 of those those pit stops for the homeless with that kind of money. So it's kind of duplication of services, because county is who dispatches out our ambulance, and whenever the ambulance goes out, the fire truck goes out.
Yes.
And so like I said, even though our firefighters are EMTs are certified, a number of them, in order to perform life-saving,
they're limited what they can do.
Yeah. So they definitely have kind of they're kind of tied down on what they can do, which is really difficult, because as a teacher, I just went through first aid CPR.
Yeah, you have to be trained.
And if I see somebody, and I've been through it many times, so it's changed.
You have to get renewed, right?
Yep. And so I had it the other last Friday at school, and it's now all the way to 30, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, all the way to 30, and then 2 breaths. But you think about that. I mean, I'm not administering drugs or anything like that, but if need be, I am prepared and willing to help. But to think that you go in there wanting to help, and you have, are you signed off here, or you signed off there, or is this okay? So anyway, that's on our consent agenda, and I wasn't so happy about it. The other thing on the consent agenda is now everything's going to the cloud. And the city of Stockton is already, we have stuff on the cloud, but we're going to really ramp up and move everything to the cloud, because you figure this city is since 1850. Do you know how many documents we have?
A lot.
I can go back and look in the 1900s. I'm not talking about like 1999. I'm talking about 1940, 1930. I can pull the books out that show the agendas and the minutes from meetings in the early 1900s. We have those in storage. But storage for all that stuff,
storage could be lost.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, not only that, but you need a lot of space to put all that storage. And then if you use servers to keep everything on, you have to have cool rooms. You have to AC. Servers get hot.
Yes, they do.
And so imagine the size of this, not this room, but the whole station.
Yeah.
Filled with computers that are servers that are holding our documents. So, like I said, we are moving everything to the cloud, but there's a cost that comes with that. And you might think, oh, I got sticker shock when I saw the cost of that, but it's still cheaper than managing a database. The cost for electricity, for those servers, for the maintenance to their servers. So we've gone to Microsoft 365, and we're actually saving money by doing it. And then when the move happens to the new city hall, we won't have to be lugging tons of stuff with us. Yeah. It'll all be digitized, on the cloud.
Yeah.
On the cloud. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is what I'm going to talk about. So we are doing signs to let people know where parking is available. Because right now, parking on the street, there are no meters.
No.
Okay. So people are parking in garages. But which garage can you park in? Do you know which ones you can park in?
I have no clue. I've always known, I don't know where to go park besides the street in downtown Stockton.
Right. So there's the Koi garage, there's the SEB, there's a number of garages that people can park in. Of course, there's a fee for parking in the garage. We have to pay down our debt for our parking garages that were built. But so these signs are being made, and this is what cracks me up. Well, first of all, I'm sitting there going, you know, do you know what it cost for all these signs? Yeah. Anyway, what this does is it's not to exceed 250,000, but these signs are being made by a vendor in New York City.
Ooh.
New York City.
Can't find nobody local?
New York City. Well, that's my thing. I said no local vendors, but believe it or not, yeah, people have so much work that they're like, they get to pick and choose. Like, oh, I don't need to do that job. Oh, I don't need to do that job. I've got plenty of work. And so, yeah, our vendor is from New York, and they're going to do it, and we're going to be all taken care of. But speaking of work, how many people listening out there are looking for a job or have a family member looking for a job?
I think a lot of people are.
I think a lot of people are too. We have tons of jobs at the city of Stockton that are being left vacant. And so you might be wondering, you know, what kind of jobs? Well, some of these are mid-management jobs that offer competitive pay, very competitive pay, if I do say so myself, a great benefits package. And guess what? If you live here in Stockton, you're not going to have to commute. I mean, people that are going over the hill. And we are the second most fiscally sound city in the state of California.
Say that again.
We are the second most fiscally sound city in the state of California.
Who outranks us, do you know?
Irvine.
Which is makes sense, Orange County.
Yeah. So Irvine has us beat, but other than that, we're second. And so I think about, you know, people.
That's a great accomplishment.
The stigma of being, you know, a bankrupt city, but we're doing all right now. And so, yeah, go online, look at the jobs, look at what the qualifications are for it, and apply, because we need more people. I mean, if we really want to operate on all 8, 12, however many cylinders we've got in this car, we need to have everybody on board.
Full-time and part-time, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it makes sense, perfect for somebody that wants to work but really can't work because they have a child or they have to watch over somebody. Right.
Well, and speaking of part-time, because of Measure M, we're having more recreation programs. And so the community centers are hiring. And that would be a great job for maybe a college student. If they wanted to, you know, we need officials for doing games like volleyball, basketball games, you know, we need officials for that. So definitely go to the City of Stockton website and go under employment opportunities and really seriously think about applying to work for the city.
Okay.
So from there, I'm trying to think, where do I go to next? Oh, we are using a local vendor for, we have a pump station I was all excited about. I'm like, oh, local vendor. So we have one of our pump stations that's getting fixed. And believe it or not, now you think about this, this is for sanitary sewer pump station. So that's important, right?
Yes, it is. Very important.
And I'm surprised it's less than $4,000. I'm just like, wow. So I understand why that one's on the consent agenda. It's actually, you know, it's a low ticket item. But then we're purchasing 5 vans as one item. We're purchasing 4 hybrid sedans from Big Valley Ford. We're purchasing 23 police interceptor utility vehicles. So those we use Ford Explorers. Those are the cars we use.
Yes.
Those are like the new police cars for us. And so it goes on and on. So one of these great things on here, there's 2 of them actually. So one of them is Safe Routes to School. And it's where we have added measures to make sure our children make it to school safely. And this one is going to be doing bicycle, pedestrian, and it is going to be on Minor, which is in the middle of downtown. We actually have a whole plan to redesign and enhance Minor Street. So it's part of our Minor Avenue Complete Streets Median Improvement phase that we're going to be working on. So this money will help with that.
And that's great because Stockton is big and a big biking community, actually.
Right,
Yeah.
it does. And there's schools downtown, so
Yeah.
people forget about that. I mean, we have a Stockton Collegiate, we have Team Charter, we have a lot of traffic. We also have the bus system, the express route that goes from the Children's Museum all the way out to Franklin High School.
RTD is launched, yeah.
Yeah.
Nate Knott's been talking about it
Yeah,
on
that's
this
that
station.
express
Yeah.
route. And we also have one that goes down to my school, Venture Academy, every 40 minutes. But then it goes back to, of course, the RTD station, where then kids walk or have to catch another bus.
If people haven't been downtown at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you see kids walking everywhere, and which makes it pretty cool because it feels like actually a downtown.
Right. Well, and it's that city kind of feel where you've got a lot of traffic, foot traffic. I mean, that's what I've only been to New York City once, but that's what I loved about New York. And I looked around and I go, oh, no wonder people are so skinny because they're walking everywhere. You know, they're running to catch the subway or running to get across the street. And then I would see people in high heel shoes doing this. I'm like, that's crazy.
And public transportation's great. It helps the
it
city.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Well, and speaking of public transportation, you know, I'm the vice chair for the San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission, and we went down. There's now an express
The Tracy, right?
train. Well, Sacramento.
Oh yeah, Sacramento this past week. Nate was kind of telling me a couple weeks ago about it.
So I was on that train. We pulled out at 6:30 a.m. from downtown Stockton, and we got into Sacramento. We made one stop in Lodi. Then we went straight to Sacramento, and we were just north of the courthouse, just north of J Street there. And you can catch a bus. You can catch a Lyft. They had Lyft there. And you get a discount on Lyft if you take it after using the train or public transportation. And then, you know, you can Uber, taxi, whatever. But everything's right there. And I got into Sacramento at about 7:40 in the morning. We got there earlier than we were slated to. And what I'm thinking is, you know, when it's really foggy, I don't like to drive in the fog.
A lot of people, yeah.
And if it's pouring down rain, I don't want to drive in the rain either. This is really the way to go. But not only that, but we could see the traffic from the train.
That's pretty cool.
We could see it all backed up. And if you buy a multi-use pass, you get a discount on it. Some employers, what I have suggested is, if employers really want to know that their employee is going to be on time and not say, oh, there was traffic or there was an accident, help them with getting a ticket. You know, encourage put an incentive to your employees.
Give the option to your employees, maybe.
Yeah. Or an incentive, like we'll pay for 10% of it.
Yeah.
Or we'll buy the tickets and then you can buy them for us at a deeper discount.
Yeah, it's like carpool kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely there was food on the train. I mean, that, you know me.
And if people don't know, it's the new Amtrak line to Sacramento from Fresno.
Yeah, it's called the San Joaquin.
Yeah, from Fresno. It starts up at
4 in the morning.
4 in the morning from Fresno, and get up to Sacramento about
7:45 or so. 7:43.
Fresno 2 hours away, so kind of it's quicker than usual.
Well, yeah, and you can sleep. There's also Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi on the train, so you could do work as well. And so I'm just saying it's the way I would travel if I have to go to Sac.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna, you know, do that. Like, let's say I had to go to the Capitol or something like that. I'm gonna take the rail.
Plus, you could look at the times and you'll know what kind of time you'll be back by.
Well, and it's gonna increase. Right now it's 4, so there's 2 morning and 2 afternoon, and then there's going to ramp up to 9 daily trips. 9 daily trips.
Okay.
So it definitely is nice to be able to have that option. because I really enjoy it. And when we were on it, I didn't post all these pictures, but a little of it reminded me of when I was in Italy. I went to Italy actually completely by myself, and I had my whole trip planned out from start to finish. I knew every train I was going to take, but seeing the vineyards as we were going, and sure enough, on my way to Sacramento, I could see all these vineyards on my way there, and it was really nice to be able to look at the countryside and soak it all in. Because people think of the valley as a bunch of tumbleweeds. And
no, it's actually pretty nice. I've taken the train to Bakersfield many times, and it's a great trip, and you see cool stuff you don't really see every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I want to do the coastal.
Same. It's the one down the Santa Barbara area.
Yeah, I want to do that train, and I also wouldn't mind doing the train going to the East Coast.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Either.
I've heard from multiple people that's really nice. Also, going through the Sierra Nevadas is pretty cool. Yeah.
I think I like the train.
Yeah.
When you don't have it, and I always think about Thomas the Train, and what are those trains that people pay all that money for?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of a novelty item, but we actually can ride it, and it gets cars off the road. We have these new cleaner running locomotives, and it's safe, it's reliable, and I think it's affordable. You don't have to look for parking, because in Sacramento, parking is not cheap.
No, especially downtown now.
Yeah, it's expensive, and you don't have to drive around and forget about it if you get a ticket, because that's like $45 or something like that for a ticket. So I just would like to encourage people, definitely. You're helping the environment. It's less stress. Again, it's safe, reliable, and in my opinion, it's affordable.
Mm-hmm. So, Christina, what else is on the agenda that stands out to you tomorrow night?
Okay.
Any more of those items before we go tonight?
Well, like I said, there are 36 of them. Oh, one more I want to bring up is so the main branch, so the Cesar Chavez Library, is actually getting a little facelift. It's getting an upgrade and maintenance. So they're going to be replacing tiles. They're going to be painting it, the exterior, which it needs. Now, I didn't get to pick the colors, but if you ever go by the library, you could pass it and not even know it.
You don't.
It just blends in.
You think it looks like another office building or maybe even a post office.
Right. My dream is to have a library where the exterior are books, volumes of books, the book bindings.
Yeah.
So of all, the Velveteen Rabbit, Don Quixote, just Pride and Prejudice, just all these books.
Something that stands out.
Yeah, Rebecca, but just all these books, you could have there. Even, oh my God, another brain thing. The Magician, Harry Potter. Sorry, Harry Potter. So these Harry Potter, one of those books there. But I mean, that would really be kind of my thing. But guess what? It's going to start this summer, and it'll be done by the end of 2018. And I have to say, I couldn't be happier about that. And the reason why I'm so happy about that is, libraries are so important to me. The rec programs are so important to me. I mean, I fought so hard for Fair Oaks Library, to reopen. That was like my goal. It was to get my first goal of being a council member. And then, getting a pool in Victory Park. I'm still working on that.
Still on your list.
Oh my gosh, it's still on my list. All right, now I'm just trying to get Victory Park watered. That's what I was telling the city manager. Please water the park, please.
Yeah, we were there for Earth Day a couple of weeks ago. We saw you out there. Yeah, it was
beautiful.
It was beautiful.
But we've had some hot days, and we're not getting that rain.
Yeah.
So it's really starting to get brown and dry. I was there this weekend for the Lemonade Day.
How was that?
Oh, I wish I could have had lemonade from all of them, but I had to pee so bad because I had 3 glasses of lemonade from 3 different vendors, and then I also had a fruit that I bought. But Lemonade Day is an opportunity for high school students to learn what it's like to own a business.
Which is pretty cool entrepreneurship.
Oh,
basically.
yeah. But guess what? A lot of the kids are like, this isn't for me. I didn't have a good location. You know, I have to be out here, and I maybe only sold 3 cups of lemonade. Just like I said, competition, location, long days. You have to make the product. You have to fork out your own money in advance. I mean, it really is a good lesson for them.
It's a complicated process. Like a lot of kids think, oh, it looks easy on a TV show, but it's actually not.
I want to own my own business. You know, Tremaine is a part owner in a business in downtown Stockton, and I never saw him. Mm-hmm. He would work his construction job until 1 o'clock, come home, shower, change, and go to the business until 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's every day.
It's everyday life, yeah.
If you want to make money, you got to work. Mm-hmm. So, not that, I work as well, but I want somebody else taking care of my medical insurance, my retirement. I mean, of course, I have a say in it, but I don't have to do quarterly taxes, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, forget about it. I don't want to do any of that stuff. So, all the things I've talked about so far have only been on the consent agenda. And so the other things we have on here, which will be discussed, is the Animal Protection League and our animal shelter. Now, we've been very good about not euthanizing animals because we had the San Francisco ASPC here as well as APL. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's really hard. I mean, people, please spay and neuter your pets. I know that, having a litter of anything, it's very educational. I had one cat that had kittens, and I loved it. I watched it happen. It was great. And I found homes for all those cats. But, you just people need to be careful. And you know what? A pet isn't a temporary thing. It's a lifetime commitment.
Yes, it is.
You can't divorce your pet.
No.
I mean, I don't think it's right that people are like, yeah, I'm tired of this pet. I'm going to just take it to the pound. Yeah. That breaks my heart.
Then you have all the people who are fostering animals basically over capacity.
Right.
And they can't take anymore and they have to turn them away.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
One of my teachers at my school, she's fostering kittens, and she posts all these cute little videos of these kittens, and I'm like, oh, they're so cute. But she's like, my fostering's almost up.
Yeah.
And then they'll have to find homes for them. But it's tough. And so we have this contract with APL that helps us, so that we're not euthanizing all of these animals. But it's expensive. I mean, we're talking about, it used to be free. And then then it cost us, last year I think it cost us about $750,000 for our relationship with them. And this year it's $1.3 million. So it really has ramped up quite a bit. And then the other thing on the agenda, which is very important, I think, is about accessory dwellings. And I've talked about this before. Mm-hmm. So like I live on a key lot, which means it's a very deep lot. If I wanted to, in the back of my lot, I could now build like an in-law quarters back there, a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, or a 2-bedroom, 1-bath.
Or if you had a pool, maybe a pool house, something like that.
I do have a pool, and I have a little pool house, but it has my pool equipment in it.
Something like that, though, right?
But yeah, you could do that, and we're putting that on the book, so it's going to be on the agenda. And then the last thing is a new housing development, which is just north of Oak Park, off of Alvarado, between the Calaveras River and Oak Park. There's a big plot of land out there, and so a number of homes are going to be built there. Not huge homes, in my opinion. 2 of them are 1-story homes, and one of them is a 2-story home. But we need to have some more housing for people, especially with Amazon online to open here in the not too distant future. And I say that they're going to be hiring people soon, so be paying attention, because there's going to be a job fair before you know it if you want to work at their new facility here in Stockton. But, people are going to need to have homes to live in if they're here. WellBe Health, which is for senior care, that's going to be opening up at University Park. And those are going to be high-paying jobs that we're going to need to be able to have housing available for those individuals too.
Christina, we have a few minutes left, so we have what's coming up the weeks ahead. I know we have this State of the City in a couple weeks,
yes.
And we Stockton Kings. I haven't talked to you about that.
I know,
a basketball fan.
League.
Yeah, so give us a little bit of what's upcoming in a couple weeks in Stockton and.
Okay, well, actually, upcoming is the Amgen.
Yes, next week, next Thursday.
Yes.
Or this Thursday, yeah, sorry. I'm already thinking next week, yeah.
So please come downtown. I mean, you're talking about elite riders that are going to be zipping through the streets of downtown Stockton. So come on out and cheer them on. It would be great for them to see that Stockton is there to support them, because we'd love it for them to come back. So they're going to be here this Thursday. Then next week on Wednesday, we're going to have our budget meeting, which is a day-long opportunity to go over all the items in the budget from all the different departments. And then on Thursday, next Thursday, will be State of the City, which will be out at the Port of Stockton, where it is every year. You can get tickets from the Greater Stockton Chamber of Commerce. I think it's about $40, but you get an excellent lunch. I want to say it's from Outback. So you get chicken, tri-tip, salad, rice, vegetables.
And you get to see pretty cool stuff in the building.
Oh, they give away.
Yeah.
So I'm bringing 7 students with me this year.
Lucky students.
Yeah, I'm treating. And they're so excited. I said, the best thing is all the giveaways, because you can get a bag and you can get sticky notes and you can get pencils and pens. And
you meet cool people.
Oh, yeah, that too. Well, they get to be with me every day, so it doesn't get cooler than that. No, just joking. But, so that's what's upcoming. I won't be probably back this month, but before I sign off, June 5th.
Yes, June 5th, big day for you.
A big day for
everybody.
Stockton.
Yeah.
For Stockton.
And the county. Yeah.
But people should have already received their absentee ballots in the mail. You can drop it off at City Hall. We have a box at City Hall. You can drop it off at the Board of Supervisors or the county office. There's a box you can put them in there too. But please turn them in. That is your voice.
And before we go on the Voice of Stockton, some people real quick want to get a Victory Park pool update on Facebook. They've been asking. Yeah,
well, like I said, so we will have to send it out for design. So an RFP will be given to make sure that we have something that's very nice. I have voted for a larger pool because I want people to be able to do swim meets there, because the current pool is itty bitty. So I know some people were talking about doing a water feature like we have at Weber Park, but I think it's very, very, very important that our children learn how to swim.
Well, Christina, thank you for the update, and it's always been a fun edition on the Fugazi Edition. It goes by so fast, you know that?
Well, yeah. Well, for you were over there yawning, you know.
I am not yawning. It's been a long day, you know. Like, I've been here
like,
since
I don't know about that.
Right? You always you know more about it than I do. So what am I complaining about?
Thank you.
Thank you as always, and it's always fun being in here with you and filling in for the governor himself. So thank you for listening to Stockton SJ, the Fugazi Edition. And if you want to comment on any of these videos, we have Facebook, and for more information on The Voice of Stockton, go to thevoiceofstockton.org. From the Miracle Mile Studios at KXVS, thank you and good night.